So as you can see, it's very significant, and the damage is a little bit different than it was in Shawnee, where it's in kind of an area where you can see it and you get to it. In these rural communities, the homes and the structures, the barns, things are in tree lines and things like that, and so the damage is widespread. As the sun came up this morning, we were able to see, get a better view of it. The response has been great, both from the organizations, the utility companies, the state agencies, the municipal agencies, fire departments, volunteer fire departments, but also the citizens. We've seen a great outpouring of love and support to try to help this community. Obviously it's devastating. The grid searches that we did conduct are almost completely finished. We've went through those grids once, but we always go back again to make sure that those are taken care of, and checking even every storm shelter and things like that to make sure everyone is okay and safe.
Any idea how many people are displaced?
So right now we don't have a number on that. Emergency management is gathering those numbers for us to try to get the number of displaced, the number of damaged structures, things like that. We will have a better view probably by the end of the day.
And we heard about 3 fatalities.
So there have been 3 fatalities in the storm so far. There's conflicting information whether all 3 came from one area or different areas. However, to me, it doesn't matter. 3 lives lost in just the path of the storm in total. So, unfortunately, that's our hearts go out to everyone involved. There are other things as well, other people that are injured, all the way from just minor scrapes and bruises to significant injuries. And so all of those are being taken care of.
Anyone still unaccounted for?
Not that I'm aware of, but that's why we're still in that grid search pattern. We want to make sure that everyone is accounted for, and until we can say 100% that everyone is accounted for, we're not going to stop those grid searches. That's why we do that.
So can you talk about those unincorporated areas where those 2 fatalities came out of? You were telling me earlier that it was kind of difficult to survey them because they're so new. So touch on that.
It is. So a lot of times in these rural areas, you have dirt roads that are just 10 feet wide. And so when you think about equipment coming in, like fire apparatus or bigger machinery to remove debris, you can't do that with just your hands a lot of times. And so to get equipment in takes a lot of time and effort. And so after 1 or 2 of those pieces of equipment get in, and then 4 or 5 get in, then it becomes really cumbersome to move around, obviously. And so we saw that a lot last night because we had such a great outpouring of first responders coming to the scene, taking care of it, that really just getting to those individual homes one at a time. It was different than it would be, obviously, searching in an urban area.
And we heard about people stuck in storm shelters. What was the response like getting them out?
So obviously, we whenever we hear someone in a storm shelter, especially in these suburban areas or these rural areas, we go immediately on foot to those areas, and then we tell them, we know that you're there. We know that we're here. Are you okay? What can we do to help you? Talking through walls, talking through doors. And then we let them know, all right, we're going to leave someone here with you. We're going to go back and get equipment because, as we said, we're not bringing that equipment to us. So we'll go get that equipment and bring it back to you. That's how that occurs. And just because we didn't get a call doesn't mean we don't check that shelter. So every shelter we find, we check.
Can you talk a little bit about the community response here? I mean, I've seen neighbors helping out, law enforcement kind of working together, cleaning up some debris. What have you experienced?
Yeah, immediately when I arrived, and I was right behind the storm, following it in, immediately citizens were here with equipment, with backhoes, with tractors, things like that, anything they could. I saw a pickup truck just wrapping a chain around a pole that was in the road and wrapping it and moving it out of the way. That's just Oklahoma. That is not anything new to us. That doesn't surprise us. People help people, and that's what you're seeing all across. When this happened, we had an outpouring of water and things like that. So that's what you see in Oklahoma. It's really, I wouldn't say expected, but that's who we are.
Is there anything that folks can do to help out?
So right now we're trying to set up the exact needs. There are a lot of things coming in but we're trying to narrow that down to exact needs. The McLean County Sheriff's Office is working really well with the Emergency Management Department, really putting that together, and we'll have better information on that. I know that the McLean County Sheriff's Office have been pushing a lot of that out on their Facebook, and they'll continue to do that. If you have, if you think that you have something that someone could need, feel free to call and ask.
Do we have estimates of how many are without power?
We don't know yet, but we have been told by OEC that it's under 500 at this point, which is a really good marketed improvement because it hit an actual substation. So it knocked a lot of power out. You saw, just driving in, you saw all of the poles, all of the equipment, all of the personnel there. And so that's a good number to hear, under 500. And it's moving very quickly. As soon as they fix one piece of equipment, that's literally fixes 100 customers. So that's where we're at right now.
Are you saying a tornado was actually, or I'm sorry, the substation was hit by a tornado? Or it's just damaged in the storm?
It was damaged from the winds and things like that. So it actually sustained damage. Yes, sir.
Any estimation on when that power will be back on?
I can't speak for OEC. I know that they've been working really from the damage I saw last night to what we have today. It is vast. They are working very well, and they're not the only ones. We get into a mutual assistance role where other agencies and other people come to help together, and that's what's going on. And so it's moving very quickly, and we should be up very soon.
Any animals unaccounted for?
I don't know that there are any unaccounted for. I haven't heard of that. I've heard of animal injuries, and obviously, especially in a rural area, you have large animals that are out here with cows, horses, things like that. And I have heard of some of those that were injured, possibly fatalities for some of them. I don't know. We're checking through all of that.
Are you all able to release the names yet on those who died?
We aren't. No, we're not releasing them yet. That will be up to the law enforcement agency that's handling that right now, which is the McLean County Sheriff's Office. And then the medical examiner's office always gives positive identification before we just throw that out there, obviously, out of courtesy for families and things. So we haven't released those yet, but they will be released.
And last question for me, what is the message to the town of Cole as they start the rebuilding process?
The message is, look around you, the support that you have around you, the people that have flooded into this area, of great support. You do have backing. You do have support, not only from friends and neighbors, but from law enforcement, from fire, from medical, from utilities. Department of Transportation was out here helping us with the roadways. There's so many other people that are out here, and that should give you hope that there is a way. There is a way to recover from it. Red Cross has been here. Washington Schools opened up their school, canceled school for the day to let people come and shelter. That's a great testament.
Thank you.
All right, if I can just get your first and last names and how to spell them, please.
Yeah, I'm Debbie Brooks, D-E-B-B-I-E, Brooks, B-R-O-O-K-S.
And Billy Brooks, B-I-L-L-Y, B-R-O-O-K-S.
All right, guys, so what happened out here?
So about 7:30, some in there, the storm was coming from the south, and me and my wife lived back to about 2 miles from here. Everybody was taking shelter, and then
Well, the
Sirens were going off.
We could hear the sirens from our house.
And so
we took shelter, and I was on the phone with my daughters, and they were keeping me updated about what's happening here in Cole, because my family's here, my mom and my brother, and they were saying it was bad. And
so we finally come out after we got the clear from our daughters, told us, it was gone, it was past, and they told us that it got their grandmother's house, and said they got Gaga's house, we know it's got it. And so we come out, and then our sister-in-law was calling.
Yeah, my sister-in-law that was in the shelter, she called and she said, "Are y'all coming?" She was upset. "Are y'all coming?" And I said, "We just got out of the shelter. We're coming." And power lines were down, and it took us a while to get over here. But
What was going through your all's head when you pulled up?
my family's here. This is my family. So, and to see this, I'm so thankful that they were safe in the storm shelter. Yeah, they were safe. And I mean, this stuff, we're fortunate to find some pictures, but my family's safe, and that's all that matters.
This
Yeah.
house been in the family for a while, or?
Oh, 1979. I mean, this whole community's been, my family's,
Been here for
my grandpa owned the feed mill for over 50 years, and my dad was a farmer in this community for forever. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, my grandpa was the mayor of Cole. My dad was the mayor of Cole. My brother is on the town council now here in Cole. We just, yeah.
So I know it's stressful, and you probably aren't thinking too far ahead, but what's next, guys?
just try to, get things put back together as normal as we can, and
Clean up
clean
and then make a plan from there.
So
I mean,
at this point, just happy that everybody's just okay and alive, and everything else replaceable, and we have our
No,
memories.
we're-
But
we won't go anywhere else. My brother, I mean,